Oh, I just love friggin' rashes. I don't know why. I just love. I didn't even. Well, on a serious note, can you believe news reporters on TV are getting death threats for making the link to climate change? This is often even in states where people are dying and are breaking records in heat. And July is nothing. These records won't last for long. In the next few years, there's many, many new records coming. So, Biden not declaring a climate emergency, an example of a person that speaks English that doesn't understand or could not define the word emergency or explain things about the Earth system sciences when he does to justify his decision and even link it to sociology. Biden may be kind of a nice grandpa, but he shouldn't be there not because his physical and mental state are questionable. It's because he's outdated in his paradigms. It's almost like politicians shouldn't be more than 30 years old, especially in the States when they seem to insist on repeating the same cycles of history that were evolutionary dead ends and taking the rest of the world along with them. And I'm not saying there are good candidates. Same thing. People from the USA should go vote and say no suitable candidates. Then they should insist for the election committees to report this and then try again. Nobody came in, not enough votes. Try again, try again. Eventually they'll turn into a dictatorship because if people stand up for democracy, they'll have to enforce a leader through dictatorship, which is kind of what's happening already. In pretty much every country of the world that claims to be democratic. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but I do know how to use language and explain things to you. Why am I not myself getting death threats? Well, for one thing, I don't pursue celebrity status like you guys do. I don't monetize my YouTube channel like the majority of you guys do on YouTube. And also, people don't want to hear what I have to say, so they're not ready for reality. Reality-related news gets death threats, but nobody knows of me. What would happen if I got a death threat? Hopefully not from a relative. Reality-based stuff is unpleasant. I would, okay, here's something for people that know me. Who do you think between me and you, if you go to the States, an apparent terrorist country, if you define terrorism properly, so that you can buy cheap things at a cheaper rate, and travel all this thing in fossil fuels along the way. Who do you think the good guy and the bad guy is? What's the difference between, being the norm or being successful and actually walking the talk of, I will not be a culture breaker and participate in the Anthropocene. And that's how a person doesn't force others to give them respect because they fit the norm, is I don't ask for your respect. I may or may not get it, but I act in respectful ways. I walk the talk. And by the way, Sabine, I still believe the expression is walking the talk, not walking the walk. Okay. Now, getting back to the topic of if I got a death threat, what would I do? And it will happen someday, probably, is I would get on my motorcycle, especially in Canada and North America, like United States, and I'd use all of my research and investigative skills, which are above average, in a very motivated way, and track down the people and show up at their doorstep. And because I am an Homo sapien, and knowing that faith as religions define it, and violence as people primates define it, is a tool of last resort. I don't need to go there. I've got all this planning happening in my head on my way there. That means I can use all my other skill sets, which amount to the most powerful tool I have, which is this. Lifting up a mirror and tweaking my interactions with you so you can see who you really are. And it really does feel like you've been punched in the face. And all I'm doing is lifting up a mirror. When I show up at this place, using all of my skill sets and being a matured man, Homo sapien, never having to succumb to the last resort of violence, is you would very much be receiving a mirror showing who you are. Very clean mirror, very close to your face. This is who you really, really are, the people that threaten me. If it happens, I rarely find people with that much courage. And of course, you wouldn't like who you see, because the Homo communia are shame to this planet right now. They are the anti-life equation. 99.998% of you are a failed people primate species. This is the first thing you must admit and talk about constantly if you care about future generations.